we have Donovan Cooper from Damascus Farms here with us. Hello.
Good morning.
Lovely to have heard your talk this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Donovan's going to tell us about the entrepreneurial journey and all about just do it.
Yeah, so I was invited to this morning's function. A few years ago I started a project making apricot jam, and a lot of people look at me with strange looks and they say, you know, how on earth did this get started? And so it's developed into sort of an entrepreneurial journey. The apricot jam in its own right is a product of the farm that has got its own life, but the entrepreneurial experience has been very valuable for me. And so this morning's talk was titled "Just Do It." The hardest part is starting the journey, and the hardest part for me in 2012 when I started this was to get to the point where I said it's okay to start and to let go of all the hurdles and all the obstacles and the things that people are faced with, and start. And so I started from nothing. I made my first 20 bottles and I gave them to people and they said it was amazing. And the next year I wanted to see how many I could make in a short space of time, and I did, and I sold those, and it's just sort of grown from there. So the hardest part was making the first bottles and putting them in front of somebody and saying, is it okay? And they all said it was amazing, and the rest has sort of flowed from there.
Yes, you summed it up nicely this morning when you said, don't wait, just do it, everything else will follow. And the bit where you said about necessity versus opportunity, so it ties back into the question, why apricot jam?
So in my case, and everybody has a different set of circumstances that they're evaluating. In my case, opportunity presented itself in the sense that the farm was exporting fresh apricots. And not all apricots get to market fresh, and nothing was happening with those apricots. And so in that space, I could take that leftover and do something with it. What I did with it was up to me. It turned out to be apricot jam. It could have been dried fruit, it could have been all sorts of things, and maybe those things would come. But so that was the opportunity side. It was there. The necessity side comes in where the farm had been hit by frost, it had been hit by hail, it had gone through difficult times. And each time the fresh fruit is not producing what it can, but you've got all the other fruit. That fruit you can use to do something else. And so for the farm to survive, the necessity kicks in. You have to do something else with that space. And again, in the entrepreneurial context, everybody is faced with their own dynamic. So, you know, you might have a certain skill. You might know that your friend has an extra desk in their office and you can't find a desk somewhere. You might see that somebody's not using their business environment to maximum capacity, and you pitch to them and you say, I think we can do this better, would you give me a chance? There's opportunity. The necessity comes from different angles. In this context, it was the farm that needed to do something. It might be an individual who has reached a point in their life where they're emotionally or financially, there's a trigger that happens and they have to get out there. And you know, one has to deal with, when you evaluate your circumstances and make those decisions. I appreciate that in my situation I had a bit of freedom in that my necessity was ameliorated or balanced out by me having other things going on as well, which helped me. And sometimes people only have one thing, and so that's a diversification issue. But it really is my view that little necessity and opportunity combination trigger into, for me now, this apricot jam is 4 years later and it's growing all the time, and everybody else will have a similar experience.
Thank you very much for sharing your journey with us, Donovan.